Hillary Clinton's email server could not only make a difference in this presidential race, but also the control of the Senate. A new poll shows more than 30% of likely voters are less likely to support Hillary Clinton after the FBI reopened this investigation into her private server. Right now, there are 6 states where polling shows the race for the Senate is neck and neck, and they're the states right there. Here to weigh in on this is Ian Pryor. He's the communications director for American Crossroads. Thanks for being with us, Ian.
Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. So out of those 6 states, which ones are most important in your opinion and why?
Well, I don't know if I could label one more important than the other, but I think one that's particularly interesting is Nevada, and that's Harry Reid's seat. I think you saw Harry Reid essentially go nuclear last night, accusing James Comey of a crime. But Harry Reid is trying to put his hand-picked successor, Catherine Cortez Masto, into his seat so he can continue to exert influence from outside of the Senate. Meanwhile, Republicans have really a dream candidate in Joe Heck. This is somebody who's an Army surgeon, a combat veteran, and a brigadier general. But that race has been neck and neck for months, really. And Joe Heck has had a slight lead in the public polls for several weeks, but the slightest breeze in either direction can shift that race. And I think with these Hillary Clinton email situation, I mean, that's the kind of thing that ultimately could impact a race like Nevada.
You know, Brian earlier in the show made a great point. He was talking about Donald Trump campaigning in New Mexico and Michigan and Colorado. These are traditionally blue states. Does he see potential to win in those states? Is that why he's focusing on them?
Well, certainly. I think that he's looking at those states. I'm not sure that that's necessarily going to be happening at this point. That's a tough lift, 7-8 days out from the election. But, I mean, he must be seeing something in the polling where he thinks that he could sneak a win in, you know, some of these blue states that have traditionally been, if not off the map for Republicans. We haven't won in several cycles.
Heard a lot about Republicans have to win in the state of Florida and in the state of North Carolina. Donald Trump is doing better than Hillary Clinton in the state of Florida, at least according to the latest polls. What about North Carolina? And talk about that Senate race, too, and what that means for Congress.
Yeah, I think if Donald Trump is going to win the presidency, he absolutely has to win North Carolina. And the trends haven't been going his way lately, but this is, again, something that could shift his way. Part of the problem in North Carolina, though, is early voting. Now, you go down to the Senate race, and in between the presidential and the Senate race, there's also a governor's race there. But in the Senate race, we have Richard Burr and Deborah Ross, who we are going after pretty hard for her work in the ACLU, and we're thinking it's having an impact.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Great perspective.
Thank you.